Starting live video. With any luck, we should have live video happening here. We'll find out. We'll find out soon. How about, are we happening? Oh goodness, looks like we are. Hey there, boys and girls. Your old pal Stevie Coyle here. Webcasting from Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. And I've got a little unboxing video for you today. I thought they were really goofy when I first saw them online. People videoing themselves opening things that they've gotten from shipping. And this one got shipped, 2 of these, 3 guitars, got shipped in yesterday. And I'm going to unbox them for you today. There are 2 Kleins made by Steve Kaufman and a Wayne Henderson. So I'll wait for a few folks to show up here, not to penalize you folks that are on time. Actually, I'm a little late today because, have you got Nixle in your neighborhood? Sort of a neighborhood watch kind of thing, just alerts. It's sort of part of the alert system, emergency alert system. Got an alert just as I was pulling up to the shop here around noon, Pacific Daylight Time, that from Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock until Wednesday morning, sometime, unspecified, we will have no electricity in Lafayette. That's bad news. And I called the city to confirm, and they said, yeah, we're getting a lot of questions about that. We're calling to confirm. We'll put it up on the website later. So apologies for being late myself, but looks like we got 7 folks in here. Tell you what, let me see who's here and what's happening. Oops. Breaking things. There's Eric Elfring. Hey, folks, if you're here, do sign in just real quick. Just say hello or where you're webbing in from, just so that we know you're here. We, the royal we, which I just had before the show. Do say hello so I know you're here and who you are. And if you're on a device like this, like a tablet or a smartphone, and you're not seeing comments go by, it's because you need to turn the thing vertical-like, and then flip, hit the thing, and then, I'll get it right, and then pull things over from the left, and you'll see a bunch of comments and questions and muttered threats go by. So that's how you do that. Hey there, Eric and Felton. Very good. Kathleen Kelly in Illinois. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining in. I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes because I've got a little unboxing video, and I know I'm running late. I'm running later than late. This used to happen at noon, but then the governor of California started giving his noon report daily, and I thought, well, I should wait until after that because a lot of folks tune into that, and I want to hear it too, see what the hell is going on out there, especially during the wildfires and all that stuff. Smooth. Good boy. So I then started at about 12:30. Then he started to run long. I used to start about 12:40. Here we are at 12:50 something. And I'm just getting started. So sorry to be so late. But I've got these 2 cases over here. Contain Klein guitars. Now, Klein guitars were designed by Steve Klein. I mean, you perhaps have heard. If through no other way than through Joni Mitchell, who was a big Klein proponent back in the 80s. And I think she even used the image of a Klein, big bottom, wide waist, squatty shoulders guitar. I think she used an image of a Klein guitar on one of her album covers. I wish I knew better and definitively, but I don't. But I think that's what happened. And, Steve Klein has been designing radical guitars and wonderful guitars for years and years. But the builder, except for the first 20 Klein guitars or so, is a fellow named Steve Kaufman, who used to live right here in Lafayette, California. And one day, early on here, 7 years or so ago, I've been here 8 years, 7 years ago or so, a woman came charging in the door and said, would you hang Steve Kaufman Klein guitars? I said, hell yes. She said, well, I'm his wife, and I think he should be building guitars instead of building spiral staircases for rich people. I said, I agree with you. So days later, here comes Steve Kaufman walking in. He didn't have a case for it because cases are custom made for these bad boys. They're big and they're small. They're different from standard sizes. He came walking in with a guitar like this. He had walked it over from his shop, which is about 3/4 mile away at the time. He's moved off to Bucolic, Oregon. But he walked over with a guitar like this and said, "Would you hang this one?" Hell yes. And of course somebody snapped it up real quick like, "We got 15 folks. Let me say hello. Hi, John Mooney. Hi, Dan Payne. David Hilliard. Very good. Albuquerque chiming in yet again. Thank you very much. David Martin. Nice to see you. Hey, I saw you in the graveyard, or I at least saw you posted a thumbs up for the graveyard visit yesterday here in Lafayette for Brent Midland, or the day before, whenever it was. Chris Gasparo, nice to see you. John Morrell. Hey, John Morrell from Ojai. How are you, man? Haven't seen you in a while. He's a repeat offender here at Mighty Fine Guitars. Used to see him all the time. Well, all right then. I'll delay no longer. I have not unboxed these guitars at all. They came in 3 days ago, and I've been a good boy. I have not taken a look at all, and so I'll pop one out right now. I'll pop out the big one, and let me get my facts here. I've got a little fact sheet on what these are, and that's right over here. There we go. The first one, which I'll get out. Pardon my butt, but there it is. Brand new guitars, fresh off the desk. Oh, wow. Wow. Can you see it? It's always like Christmas morning around here when a new guitar comes in. It's a very large guitar. This one he calls Blanca because look at all the blondness of it. How about that? This one is Blanca. This is the wow. Sorry, I got distracted. Named for its white-on-white theme. Both the figured sycamore and the Engelmann spruce have been in my collection for decades. Old wood on a new guitar is magic. Whoa, and in drop D, you can't feel what I'm feeling, but that's rattling my lungs and my chest. Wow. And that's what Klein guitars are really, I've always found, they sound great in standard tuning. They really light up in an alternate tuning, especially when you have a couple of notes that can ring together. The bracing inside here is highly radical. A lot of carbon fiber, a lot of not X-bracing. Typically, and there it is, a little door down there to get inside. And this is the standard. The other guitar has a different type of bridge, but this, they talk about a pin bridge. Well, this one doesn't have pins that you plug back into the guitar, bridge pins. It's got little pins that stick out of the bridge. And you loop the end of the string, the little ball end, you loop that over the little pin that sticks up, and then guide it through the individual saddles that can be set at different distances from the nut for really great intonation, and different heights as well if you want. The design in this is just remarkable. Give me just a second here. I'm going to catch up with y'all's comments and questions. But he says, this is Blanca, named for its white-on-white theme. Both the figured sycamore and the Engelmann spruce have been in my collection for decades. The spruce has improved dramatically over the years. It's remarkable. What a huge, mature sound for a new guitar. The neck is also figured sycamore from the same log. How about that? And the holly binding and white nitrocellulose complete the theme, set off with ebony board and bridge. Wow. Both guitars feature the Klein Kaufmann radial fan top system and bolt-on necks with the neck shaft extending all the way to the sound hole and reinforced with an adjustable carbon fiber truss rod. This is design central. A lot of builders, in a totally cool way, are trying to out-Martin Martin. They're taking the Martin design, which is revered and wonderful, but it's not the only way to build a guitar. The bracing inside here, in fact, I wonder if I can get a good angle. Let me be very careful here. Switch back to the picture. Pardon me. Yeah, here we go. Switch back to the picture here and show you, if I can, one brace inside here against the back is curved, falsate bracing. Curved bracing there. Big curvy brace up through the body as well. There's a little clear pickguard on here. It's so white. It's so bright white. Notice too that up here, notice I'm being exceedingly careful with these guitars, how steep the break angle is across the nut there, right there, where I'm pointing with my nose. And how there is a 0 fret. This is the terminus of the string at this end. It's not the nut. This nut is actually just, in a sense, kind of a string guide. And the nut, the thing where the break angle happens, where the string ends for all practical purposes, is this 0 fret, really positive end to the string. Especially folks that either tune a lot or especially do alternate tunings, where you're tuning the low strings up and down, and those windings on those big fat strings are grinding away at the slot in the nut. This completely ameliorates that problem, because you've got a piece of case-hardened steel, nickel, whatever it is. I've forgotten what kind of frets he uses here. Stainless steel, I think. That's the end of the string. So you can tune back and forth and you're not going to grind it down. It's just going to stay put for years and years and years. I caught myself reaching in front for where I thought the tuner was going to be. You have to remember, on a Klein guitar, the headstock is kicked back, not exactly like a lute, but not unlike. The same idea goes into both lutes and Klein guitars. A steep break angle there, which really makes the top activate. It puts more pressure on the string at this end and really kind of pops it up and puts it under pressure and makes it really active, really quick off the top, as they say. It's a big guitar. It's wide across the lower, about 45.7 millimeters, maximeters, centimeters. It's big. And the waist is wide, but if your body can accommodate a guitar like this, the playing experience is highly rewarding. The action is great, real easy play in the left hand to generate all that sound. Jersey devil up the road and around the bend. Thought I saw that Jersey devil dancing in his moccasins. This is Blanca by Steve Kaufman, building for Steve Klein. Glorious scarf joint there. The woodworking on this is one of those guitars made by angels, you know. Just everything is Nat's ass perfect. Fantastic. Well, that's Klein number 1. I've got Klein number 2 to show you, and then a quick preview. It may already be sold, but then a quick preview of the Wayne Henderson Brazilian Adirondack D28. But stay tuned for the next Klein. Lovely Ameritage, custom Ameritage cases as well. Do my Carol Merrill back here. Not light. You probably want to hire a Sherpa to tote these bad boys around for you. But there's not a lot of toting around being done these days, is there? No, there isn't, Stevie. There sure isn't. And there we go. Oh, nice. This is the Muriel Anderson one. Wow. Wow, look at that. This feels tiny by comparison, but it's not a tiny guitar, just tiny in comparison to the big boy. Wow. Look at that. I've got to dive back into my specs and see exactly what I've got here. This is a 396L, and I recognize it as the Muriel Anderson model. She plays one of these. Hearing things and seeing things the way they want to. Oh, sorry about that, John Morrell. I don't know what's happening in Ojai. Hey there, Vicky. Hey, Blackie. How are you, folks? Nice to see you. Geraldington Todd, nice to see you. Very good. All right. Yeah, folks, do say hello and do feel free to chat with each other while I demo these guitars. I would. Well, tell you what, this one is a real delicate touch. This one's just a real... Get with these little teeny thumb picks going here. Those little Fred Kellys. Just lovely, elegant is the word that leaps to mind for this guitar. Cloudy draw. Their horns were black and shiny, and their hooves were made of steel. Their brands were still on fire, and their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear shot through him as they thundered through the sky. The horses snorting fire as they ride on, hear them cry. Yippee-yi-yi. Ghost riders in the sky. the riders loped on by him, he heard one call his name, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, which is a strange name. Italian, perhaps. If you want to save your soul from hell riding on our range, then cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. Oh, yeah. Slender body as well. And this one, unlike the other ones, has a magnetic door in the bottom. All Klein Kaufman guitars have a door in the bottom. Frequently you have to unscrew it kind of to get to the inside. Check out this though. This one you want to get to the inside more frequently, so Steve made this magnetic, this little door right here, because you address the top, which is to say you put the strings on from inside the guitar. There's no pins sticking up out of the bridge, as there are in the big boys. And there's no pins, there's no bridge pins that are separate from the guitar, so it's kind of all-in-one styling. This bridge, a lot of the Klein Kaufman guitars have features that were discovered or invented or brought to the fore by I think he was primarily a classical guitar builder named, and his name has just gone out of my head, who almost had it, there it went again. This is happening more and more. Who built according to some principles that were decidedly non-Martinesque, one of which was to make the bridge much wider at the bass end than at the treble end. And it does something. It activates the top in a different way. John Morell, yes, by all means, if the broadcast now is funky, tune in later, because what happens is you're watching it live as it happens. But what I'm going to do at the end of this thing, I have an option to send up the original file, which will probably not have all of those digital dropouts from Wi-Fi, and the broadcast will look fantastic as it could look. Try a little drop tuning on this as well. Yeah. Really intense articulation, really intense. You don't have to play hard to get lots of sound coming out, and lots of really crisp sound with lots of edge on it. I like that. I like a guitar where it's all in there and ready to go, and you get to play back from playing full out all the time. I love that feeling. And this is what happens with Klein Kaufman guitars. You get a couple of strings tuned the same and low often. A couple of G's, a couple of D's. And those notes find each other, and they wrap around each other, and they propagate each other. And you get tons of sustain. Kasha. The name of the guy is Kasha. Kasha principles. With the radical bracing, the use of carbon fiber for bracing instead of wood everywhere, and in particular this style of bridge. Without handing you the guitar and having you play it, it's a little hard to describe what's going on, but it's very different from a Martini style guitar. Very different. Or a Gibson, or a Guild, which were, when I was a wee lad, pretty much the choice You had three choices. You could have any one you wanted. You could have a Martin, a Gibson, or a Guild. And then lots of other builders kind of jumped in. Stuart Mossman, Laprinzi, I remember those showed up fairly early as non-Martin Guild Gibson builders. And long about in the 80s, Steve Klein came along and blew them all out of the water with these guitars. And he and Steve Kaufman, like I say, the fellow who actually does the building, are still building wonderful guitars. And these just came in. I don't even know what the prices are on these. Let me get you some more details on this. Oh, this is the 396L. This is the same model Muriel Anderson uses, but in Koa with a cutaway. Sitka top, ebony fingerboard and bridge, and holly binding. The L differs from the standard 396. You probably want to write this down. With a 14-foot mahogany neck, open gear Shirtler tuners, shallower depth, pinless bridge with strings feeding through from the inside. This led to the need for a tool-free access panel, so I created the mag door for it. And that's that right there. You pop right in and do your stringing from the inside. There's lots of great ways to build guitars. There's the kind of Martini way, the classic way, the way that it's been done for years and years and years, and those guitars sound great. These sound great, but different. Can't lose. I'll show you some other really radical designs in here sometime, and play them along with some of the Martini guitars sometimes, to hear not that one is better than the other. Here's the deal, kids. If you love it, it's a great guitar. That's it. You're kind of done with that. It's not, oh, I wonder if I should have this kind or that kind, or what kind of bracing should I have on the inside? What kind of wood should the bracing be made out of? No, it's all about enjoyment. They call it playing music. It's not working music. It's playing music. And if you love it, it's a great guitar. I let go a great guitar that I could have had for $175, but I was Mr. Smarty Pants, so I was out on the road with Menudo somewhere, Kansas, Nebraska somewhere, in a little second-hand shop, which I always went into. And I never, in 7-8 years of touring, never bought a guitar that way, which was really dumb, because there was some great stuff in it. It's a little Harmony guitar, all mahogany. $175 I could have had. I was, oh no, I'm too good a guitarist to buy a guitar like that. Nah, not going to buy it. I think about that guitar all the time. Doesn't matter what the price tag is, doesn't matter if it's Martini or not, if it's a Radical, if it's Koa, if it's this or that, it doesn't light you up. Often when folks used to come into the shop here, and now when they come to outside and we work on the picnic tables out front, or if I ship them a guitar, I tell them, or I tell them here, or I tell them when it gets to your house, close your eyes and play it. Does it light you up? Do you love it beyond being able to articulate why you love it? That's the guitar you want. Ideally, that's the guitar you want. And if you're looking for your holy grail guitar, I think that's the way to do it. You may have preferences. You may say, I like this kind of body, I like this kind of wood, I like this and that and this and that. But in a blind taste test, which is sometimes fun, I do those in here with folks, when they're kind of stumped with, because I have to admit, it's no credit to me, but there are a lot of great guitars in here. So folks are kind of, their hair is on fire and they can't figure out what to do. Their eyes are twirling around in their heads. I'll say here, close your eyes, let me hand you some guitars, see which one lights you up for reasons that you can't articulate. And that often ends the person up with the right guitar. I have spoken. Fantastic little guitar. Wonderful. In Koa back and sides, and you as a player get to look at this. I always kind of take notice of what's going on this part of the upper bout, because that's what I'm going to be looking at for years and years, presumably. Koa, lovely. Sitka top, completely pinless bridge that is strung from the inside of the guitar. The Kasha style. See, I got it twice in a row there. the Kasha style bridge. Falsate bracing inside, curved bracing, lots of carbon fiber going on in there. Wow. Wonderful guitars. Jeepers. Well, let me finish up today's musical extravaganza with, now here's a guitar. I think this guitar might be sold already, so it's not exactly up for sale. And I wish I had prices on these two for you. Somewhere north of 10, considerably probably, for both of them, I'm guessing. But motivated seller, let's talk turkey. I'll post down in the comments here. Tune back in later. I'll have prices for you. These just came in. The next guitar is a Wayne Henderson. Wayne Clapton's guitar, Henderson. Hang tough. I'll be right with you. Did I mention the extremely sturdy Ameritage custom cases that the Clan guitars come with? Very sturdy. And this one I picked up from the cellar just last night. Haven't even cracked open the case. So here's another unboxing. Whoa! Oh my! Oh my! I feel like I should put on my Michelin Man suit to play this one. Ta-da! Let me get back to the picture here. This is Wayne Henderson, legendary builder out of Rugby, Virginia, South Central Virginia. I visited his house once and got to play a bunch of guitars, and he was a total, as reputed, he's a total Zen master kind of character. There were all kinds of people gathered around his coffee table, like I have here in the shop, you know, and people just kind of jawing and playing and jamming and whatnot. He was over there working, and he was actually and truly, and not for anybody's benefit, certainly, whittling a neck like this. Penknife and whittling a neck. And he was moving about this fast, and stuff was happening. There was a guy, there was an old Chinese gentleman in San Francisco that ran a little coffee breakfast joint on one of those real pointy buildings in North Beach. And the place was called Curly's. And I don't know if he was curly or not, maybe because he had not a hair on his head. And he used to, you know, you'd order your food and it would arrive like that. And you'd watch him, he wasn't moving fast, but your food arrived like that. Wayne Henderson is like that building guitars. I can't even believe I'm holding this. Brazilian rosewood. Lovely old Brazilian rosewood. Straight grain, not stumpy. This is the real fabulous stuff. Adirondack red spruce top. D28 style. This is a very Martin-y kind of guitar. I can't wait to hear it. But let me get back to the picture here and see what y'all have to say. Well, nothing needs tending to. This is a dreadnought. It has it's kind of a wide waist, certainly a wide lower bout, designed for bass response and volume. Oh my gosh. That is a dreadnoughty dreadnought. Dreadnoughty, I like that. Hey, Philly Newman, I just saw you pop on. How are you, man? Nice to see you. Really powerful guitar. A lot of people, a lot of the bluegrassers, capital T, bluegrassers, want a banjo killer. They want something that will stand up to the incredible volume. In a bluegrass band, in a string band, banjos are louder than guitars, mandolins are louder, basses are typically not louder. But just about everything in the band is louder than a guitar. So guitarists want what Brian Sutton calls a banjo killer. Wow, this has got volume to spare. And no miles on this guitar. This is 0 mileage. And it sounds like this already. Wayne Henderson, and check this out. Did you check out the headstock with the fancy inlay? Yikes! This guitar is going to be going out the door at somewhere very close, if not right at $25,000. Because a lot, not a lot, certainly some of that is this incredible old Brazilian rosewood back and sides. Adirondack spruce top. Wayne Henderson built it, and I've never seen this actually on the headstock. It says W.C. Henderson right on there. I'm not sure I can get this in good light for you. Remarkable guitar. Truly remarkable. So kids, that's the stack for this week. Thanks for tuning in. The two Kleins, look for the prices a little bit later on. I'll pop those in as soon as I get them. The little one, the Muriel Anderson one, and the big Blanca just came in the shop. They're ready to be loved. And the Wayne Henderson, I think, is already spoken for. I'm not certain, but I'll let you know next week. It'll certainly have a decision by next week. Thanks for tuning in. It'll take me just a second to put all this stuff away. Tune in if you can on Monday nights at 7:30 to this here channel right here, because that's when I do my little shows where it's just music. I don't geek out on guitars too much. It's mostly playing music. So tune in if and when you can on Monday nights at 7:30 Pacific time, and I hope to see you down the road. Bye, kids. Dee, 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 dee.